There we go. Sometimes you just have to close your browser and reopen it. Hello, welcome, welcome. Here we are. We are going to be journaling for our intention for the week. And we'll be doing that using a form of mindful journaling that I have been doing for a couple decades. So, welcome. I'm delighted that you're here. Thank you. If you want to let me know where you're coming from in the chat, I always like to see where people are coming from because I get them from all over the world. All right. I'm in Atlanta. It's a muggy day. The bottom's about to fall out of the sky. So, there you go. All right. And I just was on a call, similar, same thing on Inside Timer, but I'm doing it here too because I want to be able to help more people. And not everybody's on Inside Timer, which I love Inside Timer. It is my favorite meditation app. I have been on there for over 7 years, and I have been a teacher on there for over 6. All right. So before we get started, it's important that we get grounded and we get in this moment. So the first thing I want you to do is get comfortable in your chair, get settled in, put your feet on the floor, legs not crossed. And if you have a watch on, I want you to take it off. The reason that we do that, and this was something that I learned a long, long time ago. The reason that we do is because we want energy, our energy, and the energy of the universe to flow through us. And a watch, whether it's one that you wind up because it's mechanical, it can interfere with the energy that's flowing through us. And if we cross our legs, that can interfere with the energy flowing through us. So we want to have that energy to be able to move freely through our body. Okay, so here we are. We're ready to go. Now let's do a little breath work first to get ourselves a little bit more grounded. I like to close my eyes while I do that so I can focus more on my breath. So I encourage you to do that or gaze softly downwards. And let's take a few deep breaths just to get a little bit more in the moment. So take a deep breath in and hold here for just a moment. And release. And let's take another deep breath in. And release. And one more time. Ah, lovely. It's always, I don't know about you, but I always just feel just so much more, I don't know, in the moment and better when I do that. When I take a few deep breaths. Sometimes that's all it takes. All right. So now that we've done that, let's talk about what the topic is going to be today. And sometimes I have a number of resources. And when I get up in the morning on Monday, I, feed the cat so she'll let me do what I want to do what I want to do. But I do some breath work. I frequently do some tapping, maybe another meditation, a morning meditation. And then I ask the question, what is it that you and me, need to consider when we are journaling about our intention for the week. And I have a number of resources that I use, and I have Oracle decks, I have books, I have lots of different places that I do that, and that I pull that information from, or that, what is it to guide my writing. And this morning, what came up for me was my book, Inner Affirmation Inspirations. I wrote this book because after I wrote the first book, Inner Affirmations, I had people asking me, hey, can you give us more guidance or prompt direction? So I created this book, which has 365 different inspirations and prompts. So you have something different. And, you know, my copy is starting to look a little worn because I've been using it for a while. But I don't go through it one day at a time. I like to just flip through and find and let the page that is supposed to come to me in that moment, and let it present itself. So the one that popped up for us today is Inspiration 213 right here, which is, I allow my purpose and strength to emerge. So what does that mean? Well, let me read you the inspiration. And if you want to close your eyes or gaze softly downwards while I'm reading, I encourage you to do that, to just feel and listen and allow whatever comes up for you while I'm reading come up for you. Let that just be right there in the moment. Okay. You have a unique purpose in life, and your strength will emerge as you allow yourself to embrace it. It's easy to get caught up in the mundane tasks of everyday life and lose sight of what truly drives you. Allow yourself to focus on your purpose, and you'll find that your strength and passion will naturally come to the surface. It's important to remember that you are capable of achieving great things, and your purpose is the key to unlock your full potential. Allow your purpose and strength to guide you on your journey. All right. So what came up for you while I was reading that? Because I find it really interesting. And you know, we always get exactly what we need when we need it, when we need to hear it. And you can't push that, although I've been known to try and do that plenty in my day. Try and push what I wanted, and it wasn't time. But it's interesting the thing that came up for me, the first thing that came up for me was that it's easy to get caught up in the mundane tasks of everyday life and lose sight of what truly drives you. And I've been thinking about that lately. I was thinking a lot about that over the weekend for some reason. I even had a weird dream about it. And I don't feel like personally I have forgotten what drives me, but I feel like I have let some mundane tasks kind of overshadow some of that, some of my purpose. And that's not to say that I am leaving that behind. And I also feel like it's also a thank you for the hearts. I also feel like it things come in cycles, right? Because there are mundane things that we have to do, like, wash the dishes or clean the house or come to work and pay bills and take care of other people. Like those things still need to happen. It's a question of, right, is letting ourselves get caught up in them such that we aren't spending time on our purpose or moving forward with our purpose. So that's what came up for me when I was reading that. Now, the prompt that goes with that is, and I'm going to write this down. I'm going to type it in the chat. What strengths and qualities do I possess that can help me fulfill my purpose? What strengths and qualities do I possess that can help me fulfill my purpose? Now, here's the next step. We're going to journal. Now you say, all right, we're going to journal and we're going to answer this question. However, we're going to journal in a way that perhaps you haven't done before. We are going to journal with our non-dominant hand. Now, I'm left-handed, so normally I would write with this one, but I'm going to write with this hand today, or to answer this question. And you're asking the question, why the heck would I want to do that? There is science that supports doing this type of journaling. And I write about it in my book, Inner Affirmations, the original book. And essentially, we are practicing another form of mindfulness. This is another way of being mindful. So we can be meditating, doing yoga, or doing lots of other different ways of being mindful. And you know what? There are so many ways to do it, and I love that. But this is another way to do it. And we're doing that by being hyper-focused on our writing. We're hyper-focused on creating the letters that we bypass a lot of the shoulda, coulda, wouldas and the logic that keeps us from feeling and recognizing and hearing our inner wisdom, our inner voice. That is why we journal like this. And when I was introduced to this over 20 years ago, I was super skeptical. And now when I really want to get at the heart of something, this is the only way I would consider journaling. And when I'm feeling a little off, this is how I'm journaling. And I'm journaling like this generally 3 to 4 times a week. Sometimes I just write down, I have no question. Today we have a question because this is about our intention for the week. So what I want you to do first is I want you to write the date like I've done here with your non-dominant hand. Look, it looks crazy. Yes, I know this. Then I want you to write the question with your non-dominant hand and think about it like we're priming the pump. We're sending a message to our inner voice. Hey, we're opening up this channel to hear what you have to say. And then I want you to just start writing. Don't get overly, don't overthink it. Just start writing. It can be a single word. It can be a phrase. Here's example of mine. See, sometimes I just write words, sometimes I write phrases. It doesn't matter. Maybe you write in complete sentences. It doesn't matter. Whatever you write is exactly right and perfect. Even if you don't think it's related to the question, it is still exactly right and perfect for you in this moment. All right, I'm going to play some music. I want you to journal. If you have questions while we're journaling, just put them in the chat. I will be here to answer them. And then we will come back and talk about what came up for us. All right, I'll be back in a few. Okay, what came up for you during your writing? I know that this felt like a really, really appropriate, insightful prompt today. Um, did that feel like that for you? I know that yes, somebody is saying that interesting how it was they feel like they don't have empathy because they lose patience with people. And perhaps that is an issue around boundaries. So, what is that a reflection, or what is that like strengths and qualities? Maybe you have patience, that's a strength, and you have empathy. Those are both strengths. But maybe the boundaries of having those, what do I want to say, attributes is being overridden by not having strong enough boundaries. So those are strengths and qualities. Yes, absolutely. And not being clear about boundaries is also a quality. Maybe it's not a strength, but recognizing it makes it become a strength, allows it to become a strength because now you're recognizing it. Thank you for sharing that, Kay. I appreciate that. All right. Anybody else want to share what came up for them? I will share a little bit of what came up for me. Um, the first thing I wrote was reflection and trust myself and listen to heart. So, yeah, those are the things that came up for me in my writing. Now, what do we do with all of this? How does this lead to our intention? It leads to our intention by us looking at what we've written. Look at what you've written. And then I want you to find the one thing, not two, not three, one. The number one thing from what you wrote that you want to take away and make your intention for the week. That is what you want to do. Is make that your intention for the week. So, I'll give you an example. This is my intention for the week because we're going to take that intention and we're going to write it down with our dominant hand so we can read it on a scrap of paper. And that is going to be our intention for the week. And we have this physical piece right here. This small but mighty little piece of paper is going to keep us focused on that intention for the week. So here's mine. Reflect in each moment. This is mine. Letting it give me a chance to be reflective, perhaps in moments that I might not be. But I'm going to take this little piece of paper and I'm going to put it in my pocket and I'm going to carry it around with me for the week. And there may be moments where I'm not thinking about what I wrote for my intention for the week, but I stick my hand in my pocket and I feel this piece of paper. Maybe I can't remember what it says, so I pull it out and I look at it. There it is. This is a reminder. It brings me back to this moment right here where I said I was going to be reflective and in the moment, in that moment, and turn my eyes inwards. What is it that I see in this moment that is a strength for me? And by doing that, I am practicing mindfulness throughout the entire week. I am being specifically mindful about this thing. That's not to say I'm not going to do other mindful activities, but I'm going to be mindful about this. If you'd like to share what your intention is for the week in the comments, I would love to see it. And I hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you next week.